I make $200K a month as an EBT baby who grew up in Section 8, and I'm only 23 years old. But I promise, I didn't make any of this money illegally. And no, I didn't sell any drugs. Instead, I did something better, something that nobody thought possible, which was how to legally cheat the system. And I'm not talking about escaping the matrix or even escaping from the elites. I'm talking about something that takes a little bit of balls, a little bit of courage, and knowing how rigged the system really is. And I guarantee if a dumbass like me figured it out, you can too.
Traigo en el alma pena y llanto que no puedo contener. Y es que la quiero tanto y tanto, pero me tocó perder. Y ahora tengo que olvidarla también y arrancarla de mi alma y mi ser y de aquel amor que quema en mi piel.
I was 15 and I got into an argument with my dad, which made him leave the house. Eventually, my mom became single, and now I was under government assistance. We had EBT, I lived in Section 8. Immediately, the friends around me felt the poverty. I was screaming poverty. So any normal teenager would do is to go look for other ways to make money. I had this thing called shiny object syndrome, which I looked for the most popular ways to make money. So I tried dropshipping, I tried stock trading, until ultimately I found reselling. But by trying reselling, I realized I tried the wrong thing. I tried Supreme. Supreme was a hype back in like 2017, 2018, 2019. So if you automatically resell Supreme, you're automatically cool, right? And I wanted to be cool. Because I was reselling Supreme, Supreme was actually really expensive. Each shirt was about 50 to 80 bucks. Hoodie was about $100 to $200, and a jacket was anywhere between $300 to $500. So it took a lot of capital as a young teenager to get into reselling Supreme. So I got a job at Subway. I started working for 20 hours a week. And I realized that at the end of my paycheck, I'd only get paid anywhere between $300 to $400. My paycheck would only give me access to buy 1 or 2 items from Supreme to only make up to $40 reselling. You're telling me that I spent 2 weeks to make about $40, maybe even $80 if I'm lucky. And I spent 40 hours of my time doing so. Either the problem was I was reselling the wrong items, or I wasn't making enough money to invest into the business. So I looked for other ways to make money. And this is where I found credit. With credit, I went to Bank of America and I opened a checking account. I worked a job, started reselling, so all of my money went into a checking account. And by doing so for about 3 to 6 months, Bank of America sent me an email saying that I was pre-qualified for a credit card. I immediately applied and I got approved in less than 60 seconds. And they gave me access to $1,000 in capital. That was 2 times more than what I was making at my job. And I did that in under 60 seconds. So naturally, because I needed more money to invest into my business, I thought, if I take this credit and invest it into my business, how much money can I make, and can I make it faster? And that's what I did. I got into reselling Supreme. Supreme was really, really slow. It was a 1 drop a week for those of you who know. So I started looking for other ways to make money. The reselling model was very popular. Reselling is done with every business. You look around to Walmart, a Target, Amazon, Supreme, they're all reselling. Even dropshipping. I tried dropshipping and I failed. But dropshipping was just another version of reselling. So I went to go find another online group, and I came across this group who was reselling everyday items. That's where I found my first product. That was a Christmas tree spray. This item was sold at Walmart for about $2, and I sold it on Amazon for about $12.50. And I used my first credit card, my $1,000 limit credit card, to buy $400 worth of these Christmas tree sprays. And by the end of 2 weeks, I ended up realizing that I got $1,000 in sales. And I basically made my first $1,000 in 2 weeks just by leveraging my first credit card. Because I was able to make money with my credit card, I thought to myself, what if I just get more money? So I went to Bank of America and I asked for a credit line increase. By getting a credit line increase, they went from $1,000 to $5,000. And at $5,000, I now had more money to play with. So because of my experiences, I was able to leverage credit to make my first 7-figure online business. And by rinsing and repeating this cycle, I made multiple 7-figure businesses, and now I teach others how to do the same. Now let's look at an example here, and we're gonna use Johnny. We're gonna use Johnny Boy as an example. Let's say Johnny Boy has $10,000, but Johnny doesn't know any better. Johnny's gonna spend this $10,000 on clubs, yachts, maybe even some pair of shoes. He ultimately made $0. But what if Johnny Boy wants to invest in a business instead? But because he doesn't know any better, doesn't know the right way to approach it. Let's get a couple examples to see what Johnny can do to maximize his results. Example number 1, Johnny Boy puts $10,000 into a business. But because he doesn't know any better, he uses all of his cash to invest into this business. Ultimately, if he fails, then he lost his $10,000 investment. And if he makes money, then he's limited because of capital. But now let's say somebody who's educated, and let's say me, for example. If I had the same $10,000 here, what would I do to be able to make money faster, cheaper, and more efficiently? I would take this $10,000 in cash. I would ask for a credit of $10,000. By asking for a credit of $10,000, ultimately what I did is I converted my cash into a form of credit. Why did I do that? The banks are willing to lend you money, but they are willing to lend you money under certain conditions. The conditions meaning that you have to pay them back. Johnny Boy here put this $10,000 because Johnny Boy doesn't want to owe anyone money. That's perfectly fine. But Johnny Boy doesn't know any better. What I know is that if I get a line of credit and I pay back this balance, the banks are willing to lend me even more money. So if I want to borrow more money, I can borrow more money to invest into my businesses. Or maybe I can even buy a house, or maybe buy a car, or maybe even buy a business, an existing business. So what I would do here to start building this relationship with the bank is I'd put this $10,000 in a line of credit and invest into the same business Johnny Boy is doing. So if I fail, I use this $10,000 to pay back my downs. Now I get a second chance at redemption because they will reach out to me and say, hey, do you want to borrow more money? So essentially, I don't need to spend another 3 months to save another $10,000. I got it directly from the bank. So with my example and Johnny's example, I was able to get 2 tries in one to leverage the bank to get another opportunity in the event that I failed. But then let's say in a perfect world, both Johnny and I were successful in the business that we decided to go into. We both put $10,000, we made $15,000. Out of the $15,000, $10,000 went to my debt, so I kept $5,000, and Johnny kept $10,000, right? That's profit because of expenses. So Johnny Boy left with $10,000 profit, I left with $5,000 profit, but I have good credit because I paid for the bank. Johnny Boy has no credit. We are both in a game where we are both making the same amount of money, but who has the bigger leverage? In this case, Johnny is limited because of capital. There's gonna be a point that because he only has $10,000 to spend because he's going purely cash, he's gonna hit a plateau, which doesn't allow him to scale past $10, maybe $20,000 a month. But for me, the bank is always going to allow me to borrow more money because I previously paid them the $10,000 balance. So if I ask the bank, hey Bank America, can I get an additional $20,000? Bank of America might say, yeah, you know what, Chris? You know what, Rios? We're gonna let you borrow the $20,000 because you already paid us back. And now I have $30,000 to play with instead of Johnny. So on these 2 examples, who is going to grow faster? You should be saying Rios. Rios was 100% going to be growing faster because we are both having an existing business model that already works, but I just have more capital to play with. So instead of me being like Johnny and working another 3 to 6, maybe 12 months to save another $10,000, I was able to get the same $10,000 from the bank essentially in as little as 24 hours or less. What a lot of people do wrong is they take the $10,000 that they get from the bank and they buy Jordans, they go to the club, they go to yachts, and they buy things that make them $0. But what if you changed the game, you got credit from the banks, you leveraged it to make money, you paid back your balance, and you were able to build credit infinitely. Let's say your credit score went from 600 to 620 to 640 to 700, 750 to 800. How much more opportunities will knock down through your door? How many of you own a house? How many of you own a business? How many of you even own a car? Most of you should be saying, yes, you own many of these things, but if you don't, ask yourself why. Was it a credit issue, or was it a money issue, or was it both? The answer to your problems is money, and credit is money. So if you know how to leverage credit correctly, you can get money, create opportunities, and live the dream lifestyle that you deserve. So if you want to learn more about how exactly you can do this, sign up to my free newsletter below. I promise you it's 100% free. It will always stay free because I want to teach you exactly how you can leverage this exact same system that is systeming you or gaming you and taking your money without teaching you anything about how money works. Because I promise if you just leverage this simple system here, you would have made many more opportunities for yourself and probably even made a few million from doing so, just like I did. I came from Section 8, I own multiple properties now, I own multiple 7-figure businesses, and I did this all from scratch. And I want to teach you exactly how to do the same. So click the link below this video, sign up to my free newsletter. It's gonna be 100% free, and I wanna teach you exactly how to do it.